Bigger than what I can see.
Bigger than what we can see.
Bigger than what I can feel.
Bigger than what we can feel.
Jesus, you are bigger.
Yes, sir.
Bigger than any challenge.
Yes, sir.
Bigger than poverty.
Bigger than poverty.
Bigger than any disease.
Bigger.
Bigger than death.
Yes, sir.
Bigger than the world. But you still live inside us.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's to God. Our God is so big. That's to give glory back to God Almighty on behalf of someone very, 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 very special to us today. We congratulate you, man, and we give glory back to God Almighty. One more time, I would like to appreciate God on behalf of this amazing woman, Dr. Chief Mrs. Abisola Bamidele Lady Bisbam, on the occasion of celebration of yours, multiple celebrations today, as an installment as the Erelu of Owukuta, and also the doctorate, the honorary doctorate degree, and so many other things that God has done for you. Some of us, we can't travel to Nigeria, but we want to let you know that we're with you and we're celebrating with you. We wish you the very best, the very, very, very best. And of course, I want to celebrate all the shining stars worldwide for celebrating this amazing woman. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining me, congratulating her. Please, if you want to support me in congratulating, just say congratulations, Lady Bisbam. Just put that on the screen for me, and that will do. We have come here for something very special as well. Today, a topic that brought up to us today, people, it's something that has always been on my mind. I've done this topic before, way back, but lately it was laid upon my heart that I should do this again, and I brought it on back on. And what is this about? What is it about? We're talking about supporting people that are having delay in finding a life partner without mounting pressure on them. Now, we want to take it from the point of view of when people are delayed in having people who have delay in finding a life partner. It could be a man, it could be a woman. Number one, delay. When I say delay, what do we mean? Because this thing is a very relative term. When people say delay in finding a life partner, what does it really mean? As I'm doing this, don't mind me if I keep going in and out of this topic just to celebrate my beloved, beautiful auntie, Lady Bisbam, the CEO of ETO, CEO of Ashoke Fabric Place, and the CEO of Arewa Jewelry Shop, on the occasion of a multiple celebration as the Erelu of Owukuta, and also a honorary doctorate degree, and so many other things that she celebrated. She has a multiple celebration today, and I'm congratulating all shining stars worldwide as well. So if you see me going in and out, please bear with me. It's a very special one indeed to all of us. And you see what I'm wearing today? It's all shining star worldwide that is wearing it. So some people are wearing it in their bedroom, those that cannot go to Nigeria. Do you know that this thing has been on for some time, and we've been planning it? I never knew it was on a Tuesday. I only just discovered it, and I'm like, okay, now that makes it even better. So people, one more time, celebrate Lady Bisbam with me. Just write congratulations, Lady Bisbam. God bless you. Okay, going back to our topic. Tí èèyàn bá nífẹ̀ẹ́ ṣe bí ẹni ní ìdádúró díẹ̀ láti rí ọkọ tàbí láti rí aya, if you have a little bit of delay in finding a life partner, delay, the word delay is a relative term, you know, and I want us to actually talk about it. Please remember that you can support me by sharing this show. Please share it. Click on the share button. And for those of us who would normally be on Facebook, please tell my Facebook people I'm not on Facebook tonight. I don't know what happened to my device that we normally use to stream on Facebook. It just went funny, so please bear with me. So if you know anybody that would normally be on this show and they're not here tonight, they're probably looking for me on Facebook, kindly remind them that we are not on Facebook, we are on Instagram, and people can please join me on Instagram. Also on YouTube as well, Lori ETO IGBEYAWO on YouTube. Please help us to Meettheroyals TV, ETO IGBEYAWO. People can join us on Instagram. Yeah. Where somebody said Instagram and Facebook were that, but we thank God for everything. Thank you, Yami. God bless you. I was asking what delay actually meant. She just mentioned, she said delay is waiting longer than expected. Thank you. I actually like the word expected. What are the expectations of people waiting longer? You know, my mom used to tell me a lot of time that she was one of the few people that married last among her peers. You know, back in the day, she used to say that to me. I was one of the people that married last among my peers. Most of my peers, they've been married ages ago. Remember that you can send us a voice note on this show to to participate in this show. If you're not available, you can't call, you can send us a voice note, we'll play it. I've seen a voice note that came in, I'm going to play it later. And also you can text us, you can also comment, leave your comments on this show and I will read it out to people. What we are talking about today is very, very important. And if you know anybody that might be having delay, or someone that you think, oh, they are thinking, oh, I think I'm too late or something like that, you can tell them about this show. There's a lot to learn, there's a lot to encourage ourselves on. Now, somebody has said delay means waiting more than expected. Now, the word expected is also a relative term. What is expected time? Now, I was trying to tell the story of my mom. My mom actually told me that she was one of the few people that married last among her peers. And now, looking at her age and that of my brother, I'm like, excuse me? How old were you supposed to be married? Because, you know, it's not as if there is this big, you know, compared to nowadays. But back in the days, they marry earlier than us. These days, because of education, because of career, most of us will marry late. Now, that's why I said also, delay is a relative term. Expected time is also a relative time. Thank you, Yamide. She says it could be something through what you have said. Power of the tongue that made it prolonged to this. You know, a lot of things could have caused delay, and that's exactly where I want us to go into now. When we say delay, when we say expected time, the expected time depends. It's very relative. It depends on what the expected time is. For instance, if I'm still busy doing something and I'm purposely not ready, I don't think that is delay. To someone out there, the person might see me as or to pay 25, or to pay 26, you're going to 28, you're not married, or to pay 30, you're not married. What are you waiting for? What about if I have things that I'm doing? So that's why I said delay is a relative term. And that is exactly what I want us to look into tonight carefully. Back in the days, our mothers, they married quite early because they didn't have what they were doing. They were quick in getting married. I said every time my mom was always singing that, singing, and I'm like, did I calculate my brother's age and her age? I'm like, I was like this. So you people actually thought you delayed. I think she was about 21 or 22 when she got married. And she was always thinking of how late she was in getting married. So delay is a relative term, if I may say it. Mommy, I really said they married very early. Yes, my mom was 18 when she got married. My mom was 21. I mean, at least her age, the gap between her age and my brother's age is about 21 years. And I'm like, what's delaying that? But then they thought they were delayed because, like Mama Yodele said, maybe her peers were they got married at the age of 18. So when others are doing it, your peers are doing it, and it looks like, oh, how come? Am I, when am I going to, why is my own taking so long? Then people think it's delay. So it all depends, Now let's talk about a few things about. Thank you so much for joining, Sekina Tella. It's been a while. Nice to have you back, sis. Please, please, please let us click on the share button to share this show. Now, I sent some messages out. I sent some messages out regarding this, and I was asking. Now, when people see someone that they think they are late in getting married, they think or they assume, because a lot of times people assume, as we said, some people, they purposely take their time, you know what I mean, they're not in a hurry, they see how things they are doing and they don't feel bad about it. But some people still have a way of kind of thank you for coming, you're not late, sis, you came at the right time. So when people start saying, like Banjai, kilo share, why to she teach igbeyawo, sometimes they are wrong. Not because that person doesn't want to get married, not because the person doesn't find a life partner, but maybe because they are busy doing other things that they think now is not their priority. So that's why we have to be careful. Now, let me go to this question one after the other. Is it right? Is it right to mount pressure on people because you think they are late in getting married? Let's first of all answer that question. And when I say mount pressure, what does it mean? Is it right to kind of mount pressure on people because you think, and what are the things that people say to people that can or do that can make it look like they mount pressure on them? Let's talk about this. What are those things that people can say to someone that make them feel that they are being pressure is being mounted on them? Is it okay to mount pressure on people? What can somebody say to you or to me that can make it like, oh, you are mounting pressure on me? Yes, I'm not married, but why are you mounting pressure on me? Are there things that people can do or say that can actually make it look like they're mounting pressure on me? Let's talk about all these things. So these are the things that we want to look at today. Call, guys, please feel free to tell me. He said when they say you are next at a wedding. Nigerian aunties. How many times did I call you guys? Nigerian aunties, how many times did I call you? They see you at a wedding and they ask you, you are next. Welcome. Is there anything wrong in that? Let's first of all answer that. Somebody said, see your mates. What are you waiting for? Those things, to us, we think, it's not a big deal. But sometimes they kind of, people start asking, when are you getting married? Is it okay to actually say that? Have you thought about how that makes someone feel? Is there anything wrong in saying that? Now let's actually talk about, let's be realistic. When we keep saying that to people, does that amount to mounting pressure on them, or we're just saying it out of concern, out of honest and genuine concern? Can a genuine concern actually lead to what we call pressure, mounting pressure or harassment on the person that is the person in question? Now, there is something called subtle harassment from friends and family. What are the implications and how can one avoid doing that? People that have delay in getting a husband or a wife, there's a way we kind of harass them. It is a subtle way that we harass them. If I'm right, please correct. If I'm wrong, please correct me. Each time you see this person, I've seen someone that said, I'm only wedding more. Because every time they kept on harassing me. They kept on saying, you're next, you're this, you're that. So I'm not going to go to any wedding again. I mean, why should we ever let anybody feel like that? And when they just start their routine prayer, anytime they see you, when they start their routine prayer, they see you, Joe, so the difference between genuine concern and harassment. How can I, if I see my nephew or niece at an event and it's of marriageable age, and I say to them, can I categorize that as an harassment? How can we, there's a thin line between genuine concern and harassment. how can we not, make it not look like an harassment? Let me say this. Sekina Zela, she said, you don't know what anyone is going through or has been through. Those comments are best kept to yourself. And if truly you are concerned, pray for them in your private prayers. Thank you so much. I love that. Now, asking about the difference and the genuine concern and that will lead to harassment. It has just been said in a nutshell. That's what Sekina has just said. Look, if you are really concerned, pray for them in your closet. If you're someone that is really, 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 really close, it has to be a level of closeness for you to be able to bring that topic on. And I don't think it should be an everyday thing or every time thing. Thank you, because you don't know what they are going through. Somebody said, I have brought too many Ashwebi. I want people to buy your Ashwebi too. These are the things that people say that really, really upset people. Fine, you're concerned. Fine, you're praying for them. Fine, you're wishing them well. But there's a thin line between genuine concern and harassment and mounting pressure on people. Sometimes people can get home and that can lead them to depression. And like Sekina said, sometimes you don't know what these people are being through. Somebody might probably just experience a heartbreak or just a failed relationship or something like that. And you're saying to them every time you see them, I should be to look by you, I mean, sometimes those things can really cause anybody a sort of harassment, and you don't know what they're going to do. Hey, Kemosi, hello, sis. Somebody said hello, fabulous Kemosi. Yes, and Kemosi said, Olotu to you is fine. Thank you so much, sis. Somebody said, I'm trying to read comments. So, no, for those of you that are just joining and you're wondering what we're talking about this evening, what we're really talking about this evening is talking about people that have delay in finding a life partner and how to support them rather than harass them or mount pressure on them. We've talked about what people can say that can lead to an harassment or kind of mounting pressure on people. I know people have said a lot of things. Actually, all those kind of things. So we need to be careful what we say to them and how we say it. So we talk about that. Talk about so many things that people can say. Sometimes you don't know what people are going through, so be careful when you say things to them. Some people said, if you actually genuinely concerned about them, pray for them instead of you harassing them and talking things to them that you're not supposed to say to them. So we have to be careful in that. Sekina said a lot of these comments are even made as a thing of status amidst the mummies. Okay, the mummies peers. So to do show off, it's true, to do show off. Whereas the child's comfort and peace of mind should be paramount. Yes, it's true. Sometimes the reason that our parents are saying this is, I'm not marry, I'm not also all those things. You are not thinking about the implication of that on the child. Eniola Laga says she's not why it's okay? They can't tell you join live show. She has even sent me some voice notes. Okay, let me play some of her voice notes. She said she's unable to join. I don't know what's happening. She's been experiencing that for a while now. That she won't be able to join. I don't know why. Okay, let me.
Ẹ̀kọ́ leo, ẹ̀kọ́ ètò, mo kí gbogbo ilé o, ẹ ṣé, ẹ̀kọ́ ìfẹ́ mi, ẹ̀kọ́ àdúrà, ẹ̀kọ́ everything ní last week. Ẹ bá mi kí gbogbo ilé, mo ṣe round up níbi iṣẹ́ ni, màá join later. So my love to everybody, thank you, I appreciate you. Ènìyàn láṣọ mi o. Ohun ayọ̀ ló kò ní tán nílé gbogbo wa lórúkọ Jésù. Thank you, ma, answer. Shalom.
Thank you, ma. It was her birthday last week, and we celebrated her here.
I'm trying not to type. Kò jẹ́ kí n wọlé. Mo pè yàwó bàbá, bóyá wọn náà wà níbi iṣẹ́. Sister mi mo tún pè sí Kemo sick. Àwọn dẹ̀ jẹ́ kó àwọn wọlé. So my love to everybody. and I will listen to the program very well. Tabale contributes.
Thank you so much, ma. We really appreciate you.
In Jesus' name. Shalom. Bye, ma.
Thank you so much. That's coming from our beloved Auntie Eniola. Last week was her birthday, last week Tuesday, and we celebrated her on this show, and she's really showing her appreciation. So thank you so much, everybody, for celebrating her. She's been experiencing that issue for some time now, where she's not allowed to come on the show. I don't know what's happening with Instagram these days. Lord have mercy. And can I please say this again for those of us who are on Facebook and you're wondering why ETO IGBEYAWO is not on Facebook? Is playing up as well. I couldn't join Facebook, but we are live on Instagram and on YouTube. As we were saying, talking about when people have delay in marriage, in getting a life partner, sometimes it's on purpose, sometimes they have other plans. We'll be talking about it. Sometimes they are waiting not because they don't want to get married or because they haven't found someone. It's because they just have other important priorities. Then I also said that okay, they say Facebook is down, okay, and then as well another thing that I really want to say to us as well is when we are trying to show concern, let us consider the person in question. Let us make sure that it's not affecting their mental health. Sometimes one single comment can actually cause somebody to be down, and like Sekinat said, sometimes it's not about parents. Our parents not sure if show off if try any or mommy not to share. So let me play this. It's from Mommy Ayodilo's, I think, yeah, this is from Mommy. Let me play this. Thank you. Okay, I'm sorry, it's an old one. Pardon me. It's not something she just sent. So like Kemosik said, she said, I think we should avoid asking people personal questions. Thank you. In fact, we Africans, Nigerians, especially Yoruba, I don't want to use the word abajengon. You will see someone that has been married for about a couple of years. We have to be careful. You don't know what this person is going through. Sometimes we have to think before we put this question through to someone. And let me cite you an instance as well. Last week, I and a sister of mine were at an event, and then somebody was talking to her about so many things. And she and she was saying no, she doesn't want to do it. The person now said, the person kept on going on and on about okoyin. She was even trying to laugh it off, just to kind of not, she was trying to laugh it off. I had to eventually tell this guy, she's a young widow. She just lost her husband. The man was like, yeah. That's why sometimes, once even if you have mentioned something and you are beginning to see the body language, maybe the person doesn't want to go further on that conversation. Probably the person is going through something. The best thing is to withdraw and not ask. The person is even a man, funny enough. Meanwhile, the person may not have husband. We have to be careful. We really have to be careful. Yeah, we really have to be careful. And somebody also mentioned about someone that saw her, and the person made a comment jokingly about the fact that she did like to talk in here to not shape, she's slim. Someone was telling me a story like that, and she didn't go to Turkey. She's been ill. So the person said she was really embarrassed at that fellow. So these days, I know we joke about things. Don't let us deviate from our conversation for today, which is about people that's having delay in getting married. I asked a question. I said, what is the difference? How can we, there's a thin line between showing correct concern, genuine concern, and harassment. There's a thin line, especially if you're not close to that person. There's some people I'm really close to, my nieces, my nephews. I'll probably be able to get away with some of the things I say to them. But you don't even know me. You don't know anything about me. And you're just coming to me to ask me about what you want to marry, all those things. Sometimes it can be quite embarrassing, and it can make those people to go into depression. Now, I know I have some amazing nieces and nephews that they just can't be bothered. I know they have done everything. They don't want to. They just can't be bothered. It's not as if they don't have anybody. They just felt like, I want to take my time. So, in that situation, how can you encourage some people, because we have people that actually don't have delay. They don't have delay, they just can't be bothered. They just say, whoa, and see how much they are going to 32, 33. How can we advise those ones? I know that there's a difference, there's a difference between that and those that actually genuinely do not find a life partner. Or people that just say, why are we in a hurry? That kind of thing. Can you understand what I'm trying to say? There's a difference, So how can we encourage those people to kind of move on? Before we come back on this one, somebody said, imagine people asking, ìgbàwo lẹ máa fún ọmọ wa lábúrò. Can you imagine? Without knowing what the person is going through, ìyẹn tiẹ̀ worse. Somebody said, my sister had lost her husband for almost 10 years now. I don't have the nerves to ask her if she's going to remarry. Well, even if you're going to ask her, there's a way you're going to go about it without necessarily harassing them in public. It's something of a private. Sometimes some of these people actually might be wondering, when are you going to talk to me about it? You didn't even ask me. I have someone, like the person I was talking about, I've chipped it in a few times to say, Abi Hileko. The way she reacted, I knew she doesn't want to talk about it yet. She's not healed yet, so I'm going to give her a bit more time before I talk about it again. And if you have to talk about it, you have to make sure that the atmosphere is right, the time is right, and everything is right. Ọ̀nà wo la tún lè gbé gbà tí a tún lè fi encourage our people without harassing them. Let's talk about how we can encourage people of marriageable age that are around us. How can we encourage them without harassing them? Somebody said, if you are that concerned, pray for them in your closet. That's one great way that we can actually encourage them. If you're that concerned, pray for them in your closet. That is one of the greatest gifts that you can give to them. Pray for them and everything. Okay, if nobody is saying anything about, let me talk about this. I have another question here. I'm bringing up my questions. Yeah, there's this one that says arranged and forced marriage and its implication. Now, these people, if I decide to introduce them to someone, am I harassing them or am I encouraging them? What we call matchmaking. Would that make sense? I don't know if I'm making any sense. Now, let me say this. She would not ask also. I don't know how to ask questions. Okay, Kemosi, we need to talk after this show, because I think you've mentioned this thing a few times on this show, and I think we need to talk about this. Somebody said, well, we should consider that not everyone shares the same religious and cultural beliefs regarding marriage. What if the person doesn't believe in the institution of marriage? That's another one. Hey, Atenala is finally here. God bless you, ma. We've read your message. We've played your message to everybody. Thanks for thanking us. I hope you enjoyed yourself last week. Happy birthday again. So people, now, for those of us that are just joining again, we're talking about how to support people who are having delay in finding a life partner without harassing them. A lot of times, what we do is harass them rather than support them. And when we say harass them, we mount pressure on them unnecessarily. We ask them very personal questions. We see them all the time. Every single time that we see them, we ask them questions that they don't want to talk about, and that's what we're talking about today. People have said a lot of things. So if you're just joining us and you want to participate, you want to say something about it, please feel free to do so. And if you want to leave us a message, a voice message, or you want to call us on this show to have, maybe you have an experience, maybe you had delay when you wanted to get married, maybe you know someone that knows someone that has been through certain situations. I want us to please remember that you can call us on this show on +44 7828 500938. That's +44 7828 500938. You can call us or can leave us a voice message to tell us your opinion or what you think, or you know someone that has been through this and you want to share the experience of that person, whether the person is damage is done to them or the person actually liked it. And I was asking us as well about, what about those people that just can't be bothered? They can't be bothered. It's not that nothing is delaying them. They just can't be bothered. When I'm broke, some of them say, I want to enjoy myself before I have children. I have called them a few times because we have to balance this thing. I've called them a few times to say, you know what? You know that if we delay, for example, our question is school on at age 50. And some people, their children at age 50 are already getting married. I have friends that their children are already getting married. Now, I'm not saying you should be in a hurry, but if you say, you will meet it in front. So I always tell my own nephews and nieces when they can't be bothered, when I know that actually you are meant to have been married, you have a lot of faith, no reasons at all not to be married. And now talking about matchmaking, is there anything wrong in me saying I want to introduce this person to someone? Maybe would that be make you move? Or is it that he's shy? Or is it okay for me to introduce that person to someone? Can I, kind of ask that person if they want to be match made or something? Or if I do that, would that be an harassment as well? Oh yeah, please. Let me. I want to hear. If I find someone, because sometimes that thing happened to me. Someone anytime I see a young, beautiful lady that I know is of marriageable age, but I was on the bed, or something like that. My head is calculating, where can I find a good man for this person? Is that a right thing? Can we encourage people to kind of meet each other? Does it make sense? Exactly. You will now use pension money to bring children. You'll be using pension money to bring children up. So sometimes all this is, sometimes they count. If it doesn't happen early, you will do it late when your friends are already rounding up. So we need to let them know that. So people, let's talk about that. Somebody said, I think matchmaking depends on your relationship with the person, unless you are a professional matchmaker. Okay, depending on your decision. And also, I totally agree with you, Sister Kemi. I totally agree with you. Yeah, it depends on your relationship with the person. And another thing that I would say on that as well is, except the person has particularly told you. I know someone, we don't have a relationship. I told them I do a show. We met at an event and we're all talking about what we do. When they say introduce yourself and tell us what we do, what you do. So I was at the event and I told them what I do. I'm a wedding planner, I'm this, I'm that, and I also do a show called ETO IGBEYAWO, where we talk about traditional wedding and everything about marriage. And the first thing that person said to me was, do you do matchmaking? When you do matchmaking, don't you think you should consider that? Please, because I'm this, and I really love if you know someone that I can. I'm not a professional matchmaker. I don't do matchmaking, but I've done that a few times and it worked. I know I have couples that are doing very well that I actually connected them. I've done a few of that, but I didn't do it as a profession. And obviously, like you said, it's someone I know very, very well. In fact, my brother married my friend through me. So sometimes things like that happen. But I'm not a professional matchmaker, and matchmaking is a very delicate thing, because if it works, you will never hear anything. But if it doesn't work, let me read this comment that just came up on YouTube. Don't tell me I lost that though. Child, let me see. Okay, somebody said time is relative. Harassment is different from genuine concern. Harassment is equal to bullying, abuse, and repetitive. Why is it disappearing now? Okay. Repetitive negative behavior that is causing someone to doubt themselves and become distressed. Yes. So the difference between genuine concern and harassment is that the comment you make will make that person distressed and feel less of themselves if it's an harassment. But if it is proper concern, genuine concern, then the person will definitely know that you're genuinely concerned for them. Now, what about forced marriage? Forced, or how do I even put it? Now, let me play this clip. I want to explain that forced marriage, but I think this clip might explain it better. Because sometimes we don't even know about all these things until we see the damage that you need to go back on. But let me see if I can play it. If I find it and I can play it. Because sometimes all these things, I'm not sure how. A lot of people are in trouble because of all these things, all these little things that we are talking about. I hope I find that clip. I kept it for this purpose. So, yeah, this is the one.
Come inside now. Come inside. What did you finish? What's there for Papa? Papa, Mama, my son, I have been waiting for you to get married. This weekend now, you will clock 40. And they say life begins at also, and they say a fool at 40 is what? Who is the foolishness? I have been waiting for you to get married, and you have not made any move. I have been waiting to carry my grandchild. Don't you need one? That is it. So sit down. We have a wife. How do you support somebody with a wife? Is it a cake? I don't understand now. What if you are looking for grandchildren? Is this not Amadi? Amadi not give me. This was our last one. I did not give you like 3 grandchildren already. Why can't you give me your own grandchild? Why can't you? Are you part of you? You are part of this. He's not part of this. The Bible says, "He that finds a wife finds a good thing." Okay, let me find this one. Let me find her. We don't find her for you. A good thing. Carry your wife. You the pay man. Papa, you know what? I won't take part in this rubbish. Okay, let me just respect you. See, I think this rubbish has to end. What is the meaning of this? I'm not sure saying God. Thank you, Papa. Let it go. Papa, tell this man. Tell this man. This is not nice. Sit down. The Bible says the kingdom of God suffereth violence, and the violence is by force. Take your wife by force. Sit down.
Can you imagine? No. Can you imagine? It's gotten to a point where people are almost like imposing women on men, saying whether you like it or not, you have to marry this. See, some of these things may sound like skits, they may sound like jokes, but that's what people are actually going through, especially in some parts of the world where this marriage of a thing is almost like, hey, it's a do or die affair. The Lord help us. So please, people, let's bear in mind that while we are trying to support people, encouraging them to get married, let us make sure that we don't put them under any unnecessary pressure. Let me read what Antoniola said. Now, talking about matchmaking, that is it okay to matchmake people? Well, she said you can introduce them to each other on friendship level, that they may lead to something solid if they are meant for each other. That's true. You can actually introduce them to each other. Somebody said, anyway, me, I'm looking for a boy. I'm trying to get pregnant. If you know what we're hasting is enjoy. See me after the service. See me after the service. The Lord will do it. He will grant your heart desire. In fact, the fact that you have said it on this show, 9 months time, we are going to do baby christening, baby ceremony and naming ceremony for 2 boys. 2 boys. We're not even going to wait at 1. 2 baby boys for Kemostika. Also this evening, I wanted us to talk about the issue of people, like the clip I just played now. What do you think about people that kind of impose? There are some tribes, there are some cultures that impose wives on people. She said, top. Now you ask for her. So people that actually impose brides on groom, that will say, and all of that. Do you know that some cultures are still doing that today? I don't know if any of us are aware of that. What do we do in this day and age to kind of make sure that kind of thing does not take place? And I was asking the difference between matchmaking, forced or arranged marriage. I was asking what's the difference between both of them. So if somebody have found themselves in a situation where they say, because you're delaying and we decided to find you a wife, they do it a lot. They do it a lot in some tribes. Some of us might be thinking it's possible in this day and age. It's still happening. It is still happening in some tribes. I don't want to mention, but if you watch Nigerian movie very, very well, some of the things they do on movies, they're not just doing it, they're doing it because it is happening. Imagine to village, because you're taking too long, I have brought you a wife. Mommy, it's not in the olden days, ma'am. Mama, your daily goes. I think it was in the olden days. I don't know. You'll be shocked. And then there are some people as well that they will say there's a rich man somewhere. Yeah. You know, if you say anything on Nollywood, if you say anything on Nollywood, yeah, it's because it is happening. I'm telling you, they may exaggerate it, but because it is because it is still happening. And that kind of thing has put a lot of people in serious bondage. There are some tribes, some cultures that still do that. Somebody said, Mommy, Courageous and says, there's nothing wrong in matchmaking and leaving them to work it out, but match imposing is evil. It's evil and it's monitoring spirit. Yes, ma, you're right. It's real. Yeah, people are still doing it. People are still kind of imposing wives on their, you know, they will say, you know, especially girls. They kind of say they found one baba somewhere that you can marry. They will say they found you one rich man somewhere that you have to marry, whether the person likes it or not. If you say no, they will say, I will use this my two breasts to curse you, except I'm not your mother, except I'm not the one that gave back to you. All those kind of things. It doesn't make any sense. So I don't know how in this generation that people are still doing that. Lord have mercy on us. It's been a fantastic show, everybody. Before I round up, we're going to move on to our next segment, which is the segment of what would you have done? What would you do? What would you do if you find yourself in this situation? What would you do? Hey, this one I'm about to bring today. Let me check. I hope we don't have some people that are too young on this show. This one scared me. It scared me. In fact, it's just that somebody might recognize the voice notes. I would have played the voice note because somebody actually sent me a voice note on this one. The lady is the lady in question, the husband is the one that actually sent me a voice note, and I'm really scared. I don't want to play the voice note because somebody might recognize the voice. Abala Kinikinshi. This one I feel like whispering it because it is scary. A man said that the wife is always depriving him in the other room, but he discovered many sex toys in her closets, but he's always depriving him in the other room. Ejo, eléyìí ó kọjá òye mi. Ọmọ kékeré ara mi, bó ní ti ṣe yìí. What do I do? Should I divorce the woman? Should I join her in using the whatever? Ejo, Bookilicious. This is your area of specialization. I almost did not bring this one. I almost did not bring it on the show. But how do I handle this one? What do we say to this kind of person? Somebody that is, I mean, let me even put jokes apart because you don't do your funny. You know, the person said the wife deprived him of sex a lot of times, giving all different kind of excuses, but he discovered a lot of sex toys in this person's closets. And in fact, that's the word, I started stammering. I didn't know what to say, and I said, okay, I will bring it to people. What do we do? Somebody said they need to have a talk, serious one, as there is a fundamental problem here. Okay, ma'am. Somebody said relationship sex counseling is there. Maybe there's an addiction or something. Okay, maybe it's an addiction. I still don't understand. Why would anybody prefer rubber to correct? I don't know. I don't want to, you know. I'm still waiting for people's response on this. People said they need to probably see a sex or relationship counselor. Somebody said they need to sit down and talk seriously. I have tried in my little brain to think. Hey, and also when that thing actually came on, I thought to myself that because I've seen a video as well, which I said I was going to bring up as a topic on this show, and I don't know if I should bring it up as a topic. I saw a video clip from Reverend Funke Felix Adejimo, that somebody was asking me a question. In marriage, is it okay for couples to be using sex toy? I didn't know what to say. I was like, she answered the question in a way, but that thing almost wanted me to bring up a topic. Should I bring that topic up? Because should I bring it up as a topic? When I saw that thing, I felt like, let's discuss this actually. Is it correct? Is it right? Is it right for a couple to engage in using of sex toy? Not forgetting, mommy one yes you, mommy Gio. Baby, maybe the man is not satisfying. Maybe the man is not satisfying her sexually. Okay, if the man is saying is depriving him. Only put the phone. So if he's not satisfying it, to deprive. Someone said there's a lot to it. I think they should sit down and talk. Emotion. Okay, emotion dear. That's true. I think I buy that idea of the emotion, because one thing about us women, sex to us is not just something that you do physically and leave. We want you to. Maybe the woman felt, that's true though. Maybe the woman felt, you cannot just be sleeping with me anyhow. Instead of that, I'll just use rubber, because the emotion is not there. I think I buy that. Somebody said, maybe there is a man. There are many things that can be wrong here, but communication is key. Okay, I hope this person will be able to get all these messages. On a serious note, maybe there is a dissatisfaction in their intimate sessions, but it will be better to talk to her. Kilo Shele. How I wish I have access to the woman, because I only heard one side, and it will be very difficult for me to say, Josa, they should both agree, okay? Or the man is no longer attached to her. How can somebody not be attached to you, and the next thing is she not attached to Robin? Because I don't understand. When you say you're no longer attached to your man, and you think, I don't want to judge, I don't want to sound like I'm judging, but it was strange to me, but we're all from different school of thought. And I think what Antonella said is is something that rings a bell to me. We women, we believe in emotions, and sometimes some men can be so carefree. And maybe the woman is feeling like you're already acting like a toy anyway. I might as well just replace with a toy. Maybe that's the problem. Someone said the woman is hurt emotionally, I guess. Apparently, married couples are using sex toy a lot nowadays. Okay. Talking about the issue of married couple using sex toy. It is well. The Lord will help us anyway. This is not, I always say to people that this is not a religious session. It's an open session where we can talk about things and talk about how it affects all different homes. When I saw that post, I was tempted. I was going to bring a topic, and I'll probably bring it up as well as a topic. Is it right for married couple to use sex toy in their marriage? But I don't know about the Gen Z. I think the Gen Z are more adventurous than some of us. That should be where she love people. But those Gen Z, I don't understand. Somebody said it can be to ask if you can talk to the wife. Okay, if you can. Okay. It's not about talking to the wife. Well, how will the woman take it? The woman will not think, that's my worries. If I ask if he said it's okay and I take it up, the woman will not say, that kind of thing. In fact, I was almost turned to Araoko during this Yes. So, ladies and gentlemen, unfortunately, time the concern for. Like I said to us, we can't go on topic. Thank you for joining my darling says. Like I said to us on this show, I come here every week to learn, and I'm serious about it. I come every week to learn. I come every week to to actually add to my wealth of knowledge. I come every week to let out some of the things that I'm going through as well. I come out every week to pick from people's comments to improve my own lifestyle and in my marriage as well. So tonight it's been a fantastic evening. We've talked about mounting pressure on people that are of marriageable age and saying, you will look on, blah, 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 all those things. It can mount pressure on them. It can affect them emotionally. It can affect them physically. It can affect them mentally. It can affect them in so many ways. So we have to be careful. And also tonight we have discussed and concluded that there's a thin line between being genuinely concerned about someone who is having delay in marriage and harassing them. Let us be sure that we're not harassing them. And people have said a lot of things through which we can support them. You can pray for them. If you are that close, maybe talk to them once in a while, not all the time. And be careful the way you come across as well. And read their body language. Read their, you can tell straight away if whether or not they are comfortable talking to you about that. And if you notice that they are not comfortable talking to you about it, just end the conversation. And then, like someone rightly said, the best thing you can do is to pray for them. We also talked about matchmaking. Would it be right for me to introduce someone to that person? Yes, it might be right, but you have to be on a level that is, I won't just walk up to you and say, hey, I saw someone that I want you to, you have to be careful. And Auntie Nella said something very important. She said you can make them become, introduce to them as friends, acquaintance, and then they become friends, and along the line, if things will work out, if they are meant for each other, it will happen. But don't say, I'm at the that kind of thing. Nigerians aunties can be so mean sometimes. Sorry to say, Nigerians aunties, they can be so mean in passing across something that is meant to be a good intention will really turn bad, depending on the way we talk about it. If I have someone that I know I want you to meet, I can stylishly introduce you to each other as friends, not necessarily saying, Kenny, I introduce you saying on scene, shako, you don't do that. Already this person is under pressure, and your choice may necessarily be this person's choice. It may not necessarily be this person's choice. So please, let us tread softly around people that we know that they are already having delay in finding a life partner. Let's be nice to them. Let's pray for them. Let's keep them in our prayers, and let's be careful. And Gloria Bala Kinekinshe, the talk about says a woman that would rather have a sex toy rather than her man. They said it might be an emotional thing. The woman is probably emotionally detached from that man. So they need to sit down. They probably need to see a counselor. They need to talk about a lot of things. Hey, you are. Also, no man will catch your own. Àmọ́ òǹfààní fún yín náà ṣáá ni kì í gbà fún wa. Àmọ́ tó bẹ́ẹ̀ jù bẹ́ẹ̀ lọ, a fẹ́ dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ Ọlọ́run Ọba tó jẹ́ kí torí ìtútù tó ṣe. Èmi Olúwabùnmi aya Òṣìbẹ̀rù. Mo fàsìkò ìdúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ gbogbo apátápátá tá a wá sórí ètò yẹn tẹ́ bá wa dá sétò. Gbogbo èyí tẹ́ ń ṣagbátẹrù, mo dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ gbogbo wa pátápátá látòkè délẹ̀ wípé ẹ ṣeun. Mo wá sọ fún wa wípé lílọ ni mo tún lọ yìí. Èmi Olúwabùnmi aya Òṣìbẹ̀rù. Ó gbàdúrà lẹ́yìn wípé ogun ó lọ kò dé kò ní bá mi. Ogun òde kò bá wọn kò ní jẹ́ títí ní lágbára lọ́wọ́ Ọlọ́run. Ayọ̀, ìdùnnú àti àlàáfíà tí mo fẹ́ fi yín sílẹ̀ ní òun náà ni màá tún padà wá bá yín lọ́jọ́ mẹ́jọ lágbára lọ́wọ́ Ọlọ́run. Wọn ò ní fi yín ṣàwátì, bẹ́ẹ̀ ni wọn ò ní fi èmi náà ṣàwátì. Wọn á fàsìkò yìí sọ fún gbogbo wa pátá látòkèdélẹ̀ wípé láyọ̀láyọ̀ la ó máa pàdé o. Mo ní láyọ̀láyọ̀ la ó máa pàdé o. Ẹ̀yin ò ní forí gún, èmi ò ní fẹsẹ̀ kọ. Mọ́tò yòówù kálẹ̀ wọ̀ kò ní forí sọ̀gì o. Láyọ̀láyọ̀ la ó máa pàdé. Láyọ̀láyọ̀ la ó máa pàdé o. Thank you so much, everybody. God bless you. See you next week by the grace of God. Amen. Thank you.
Best of traditional wedding. Best of traditional wedding. Ètò náà. Best of traditional wedding. Ètò ìgbéyàwó tó tọ́ ní lọ́gbọ́n. Best of traditional wedding. Ṣé ti gbọ́? Ètò lẹ́tọ̀ traditional wedding ló lọ lọ́wọ́.
Ó yá jíde.
Best of traditional wedding. Ètò ìgbéyàwó tó kọ́ ní lọ́gbọ́n. Best of traditional wedding. Every Tuesday on Instagram, every Tuesday on Facebook, 6 p.m. UK time. Every Tuesday on Facebook. ètò ìgbéyàwó tó fún mi lóye.
Let's talk traditional wedding. Thank you so much, everybody. God bless you. See you next week by the grace of God. Bye. God bless you.